And joining me now from the White House, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. And Mr. Secretary, welcome to the program. It's great to see you on our show today. You're meeting with the Premier of Ontario tomorrow. What do you want from him?
Oh, I think we're just going to have a nice conversation. It's really, Canada is in a bit of flux, right? Trudeau left, Mark Carney came in. They're probably going to call an election in like 3 weeks. So I think it's just to level set things, make sure we know each other, and then we're going to negotiate with all of Canada. So obviously we're going to wait for there to be a new prime minister, and then we're going to talk.
So hold on, man. Looked like Howard had a few beers before he came on for this interview. I liked it. I like this suit with the tie. You know what I'm saying? Howard is a business guy, you know what I'm saying? But I think he'd be in the back with Trump like, hey, man, pass me one more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Have you seen him before in the White House? Howard. I haven't did too much on Reese. I think Howard just like a international businessman. He said, hey, Canada we just gonna have a few, we're gonna have a conversation and we're gonna meet and everything gonna be smooth. Don't sound like that in Canada. Look, they taking all American alcohol off the shelves, Howard. We can't have that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I hope it go good with Canada, but, hey, man, they ain't, I think it's gonna take some big time influencing, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think the people of Canada, they definitely, they with it because they've been controlled by their government the wrong way, man. The truckers protest, shout out to the truckers, you know what I'm saying? And they shut down everything with them. But, yeah, man, we'll see what's happening.
Are you lowering the temperature deliberately?
Well said. We're going to lower the temperature. He thought he'd be sort of the big man and tackle Donald Trump. But you can't tackle Donald Trump. He is the most important, the smartest, the most capable leader in the world. And he's not going to let someone push him around. The right answer is, if you take a step back, what does the president want? He wants to worry about major things for national security of America. Steel and aluminum tariffs, that's today, right? Autos coming April 2nd. Semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, things that America must have. So you can imagine these are the kind of tariffs we're going to make sure these things come back to America and are built in America. And then on April 2nd, he does his reciprocal tariffs, which basically say to all the countries in the world, come on, you treat us a certain way, we'll treat you the same way. Let's make it fair. You want them high, they'll be high like they are now. You want them low, they'll be low. But let's treat each other fairly. And that's where we're going. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward.
Let's go back to that 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports coming into America. What will it take to get those tariffs removed, the 25% steel and aluminum?
So before Howard say that, let me tell y'all something. I drove trucks for years. All your steel is coming from overseas, mainly China, okay? Not really Canada like that because, why is that? Because it's cheaper labor over there. It's cheaper to make these different things. Steel coils, everything is coming off the ships to the docks. One of them is the Baltimore port. And so they don't think a lot of stuff is coming from Canada. No. They getting this stuff made with cheap labor in other countries. And that's what you're seeing. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, I think Canada should be the 51st state. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to unite with us. And I think we're not going to have no other way because we're not going to let China and other countries come in and just set up all kind of weapons close to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Canada, though. Shout out to the Canadian citizens. You know what I'm saying? Y'all dealing with corruption, too, on y'all government. We trying to clean house. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully those come over there and help y'all out.
So I think the president views steel and aluminum as fundamental for our national security. I mean, we can't be in a war and rely on steel and aluminum from some other country. I mean, it's just not reasonable. So The president wants steel and aluminum in America. And let me be clear, nothing's going to stop that until we've got a big, strong, domestic steel and aluminum capability. And by the way, he's going to add copper to that mix, too. So just remember, national security rises above all other things. People get lost in this stuff. We must have steel and aluminum. We must have semiconductors. We need to have cars and automobiles. We need to make these things in America. We need to make pharmaceuticals in America. The president has called them out because he knows these things are vital to be made in America.
The price of aluminum and steel and copper has already started to rise. That could ripple through the entire manufacturing sector and raise the level of inflation. Could it bring on a recession?
So let's start again. Let's take a step back and remember inflation, right? Inflation comes from a government printing too much money. The Biden administration having a $2 trillion deficit. You don't get inflation from having a tariff, because what a tariff says is if it's made in Europe, if it's made foreign, it might cost a little more, but that which is made in America does not cost more. This concept of how about we buy American steel, we buy American aluminum. There's U.S. Steel, you know it, there's Nucor, right? There's Cleveland Cliffs. We make plenty of steel in America.
Domestic
we make plenty of steel in America. Let's strengthen that.
Domestic producers can't keep up with demand. The supply is limited, demand is strong. The price is going up.
Some foreign steel will go up for sure, but then they will build those plants in America. We will have our plant production in America is only operating at 50, 55%. That's got to get up to 80%. We'll put the orders in America. Our plants will be more effective. Look, you've got dumpers in the rest of the world. Japan dumps steel. China dumps steel. What that means is they make it, they overproduce, and they sell it dirt cheap to try to drive our guys out of business. The president is here to protect American workers. He's here to protect American industry. We're going to stop that nonsense and bring steel here. So this concept that, prices are going to rise, you got to remember, President Trump is playing for the strength of America, and we're not going to stand for China dumping, Japan dumping. Australia does a lot of aluminum at below cost. I mean, this has got to end, and the president is on it, and he's protecting America.
Is it correct to say that America has the lowest tariffs and American products are the highest tariffed in the world? Is that accurate?
Oh, it's absolutely accurate. Since 1945, we had this domestic policy, this industrial policy that said, let the world, we're going to export the power of the U.S. economy to the rest of the world. So we charged really, really low tariffs so everybody could sell to us, and they protected and put giant tariffs. Giant tariffs. Europe has, remember, it starts with a VAT of 20% before we even get started. So the rest of the world has huge tariffs. You said it exactly right. And Donald Trump has said, why is the policy from 1945? Why is that the policy of America? Let's get balance. Let's unleash our farmers, our ranchers, our fishermen. Let's bring manufacturing back to America. Let's make America great. And I mean great.
There's a new article in Politico, and it says this, I'm quoting, Trump allies are blaming Lutnick for Trump's tariff turmoil. They quote anonymous sources who say, you are acting like a mini Trump. Would you like to respond to that?
Oh, my God, I would love to act like a mini Trump. That works for me. You got the smartest guy, most intuitive guy driving tariff policy. I am indeed helping him execute his policy. The economic team is one. We're doing it together. You know, we understand what he wants to achieve. He wants to bring manufacturing back to America. He wants to bring and protect America from certain industries, which he's called out. And we're doing it together. It's a great team. I love the team. Jamieson Greer, our U.S. Trade Representative, Kevin Hassett, our head of National Economic Council. I mean, these are wonderful, wonderful people. Scott Bessent in Treasury. These are wonderful people all working together.
So let me say something real quick. Let me explain to the American people in the world how we got in this situation. Long time ago, the manufacturers found out that, hey man, we need to move manufacturing overseas. Okay, we need to move the steel factories out of America so we can pocket more money. We don't have to pay these high wages. We could get stuff done by partnering with China. Okay, India, different places. You know what I'm saying? Even Mexico. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is a lot of these high paying jobs, they left. It killed the auto industry. You see what I'm saying? And so it's been going on so long. But see, this is the thing. When you really start making change, you have to bring all that back. You have to bring it back. You see? They just don't want to lose out on they major bonuses and cuts and all the money. They was saying, no, bring this back. You're going to have to pay wages again, high wages to the U.S. citizens. Or we're not going to support you. Thank you, Howard Lutnick. Keep pushing, man. Trump, y'all keep pushing. We paying attention. You know what I'm saying? We paying attention. Fox News, we paying attention. What you think about that, LTs?
So I think pretty much the same thing you were saying. I think the American businesses need to come back to America. Like you said, they've been pocketing the money. Whether it was from the steel companies, come on, man. We live in Ohio, like we had big major steel companies back in the 70s and in the 80s and the 90s, you know, before things got kind of bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with what was that? Steel. What was the other one he mentioned?
I know in Youngstown, Cleveland, Toledo, you know, it's
something else he mentioned. Shoot, I'm trying to think.
Just in general, man, just like you got to bring those jobs back. You know what I mean? Yes, y'all ain't gonna make as much money because you get it made cheaper, but all that has to change, and we gonna see what happens. We paying attention, and we gonna see what companies is putting a push up. You know, giving pushback to Howard. And we ain't gonna have that, Howard. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have it.
Advised on this interview by my friend and colleague Kevin O'Leary, who was in fact born in Canada, and he wants me to ask you, what's the end game here?
Kevin O'Leary.
Could you eventually get to a point where there's that you've got a huge economy, you've conjoined, you've merged the economies of Canada and the United States? Can you get to that point, you think?
Well, the best way, the president has said it, the best way to actually merge the economies of Canada and the United States is for Canada to become our 51st state. If they want to merge it, that's how you make it the 51st state. But think about this for a second. Why are American cars made in Canada? Why are they made in Canada?
Right.
To the president, it just doesn't make sense. Why are American cars made in Canada? Those jobs should be in America.
In America.
And that's what the president thinks, and that's what he says, and that's what he's going to execute. So the key point is Canada's going to have to work with us to really integrate their economy. And as the president said, they should consider the amazing advantages of being the 51st state of the United States of America.
I've got one question for you, if I may, from another friend of the program. That would be Dave Portnoy. He told us that he was offered a job in your department. He ultimately turned it down. My question is, what did you want him to do at the Commerce Department?
No, we're not going to talk about what he wants to do, but can you imagine if we could get these kind of great people to come work for the government? How fantastic would that be? I mean, we've got so much to achieve in this country. You've got Elon Musk helping us out. We've got the greatest people helping us. We've got technology companies offering to build software for the U.S. government. Here's the key: for free, helping us to build a great America. And I think you're going to see the greatest economy under Donald Trump. Let his policies run. Let's get to reciprocal tariffs. If other countries want to bring their tariffs down, we will bring ours down. We can't really bring them down. We just won't bring them up because ours are so low as it is. But the idea is reciprocal is coming April 2nd. Doesn't that sound fair to you?
It does indeed.
So, no more exploitation of the U.S. economy for cheap labor. You have to bring the jobs back. It's a lot, man. It's a lot we need to do. You know what I mean? But I like the stance. Yes, it's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But we got Howard on it. So thank y'all, man. Like and subscribe, share, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? We're going to stay tuned in. We paying attention to our government, because we want real change here in America. And it starts here. We change here, we can change the world. All right. Thank y'all. Peace.